Welcome back to Teddy Talks, everyone. Always great to have you back here in the room. And do not forget, subscribe, people. Subscribe, because we are growing the community and we need your help. We need your help for Teddy Talks to keep building and growing. So, yes, one more time, do not forget to subscribe. So, let's get straight into it, Sid. Is opting out of beef soft, or do you reckon it's a smart move? What do you think?
I think it depends on the context. If two boxers have been trash talking each other, then opting out of beef, you look like a coward.
Interesting.
But if in a different scenario where, you know, it could mean life or death, or it could mean, you know, you're throwing your whole career down the drain, then you may have to consider your options here. So what's
I'd
the
argue
context?
you're still losing somehow. Like life or death, no. But if someone's in danger and you opt out of backing, like you, for example, my bro. If you're on the street, you're in a situation, and I'm like, hey, Sid, be the peacemaker when the guy's really insulted you. You wouldn't like that. I feel like you'd tell me I'm a coward. I feel like you talk to me at home and be like, bro, come on.
Yeah, but if you were to stop and give everyone the time of day that insults you, then your whole life would end up being ruined by that. So you need to set some boundaries as to what's worth engaging. There's no need fighting every battle. You need to win a war here.
The Bible says, turn the other cheek. Well, Jesus said, turn the other cheek.
Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Let them slap you again.
Let them slap you again. I mean, it's easier said than done. JCole's a perfect example. I feel like we spoke about him a few episodes ago, but he's got his album coming out really soon, and a lot of the talk right now is, you know, I don't want to hear JCole talking about the fact that he's top 3 again in any of his tracks. And I'm like, this is kind of talking about the idea that he needed to address this beef. He needed to join. I'm not saying he needed to, but people are saying that he needed to be a part of the beef in order to essentially, it sounds like, continue to be the JCole that he was, arguably top 3. Like
The big three.
The big 3. And I don't know if I subscribe to that. But what do you think? Do you think that JCole needed to opt into the beef, or is he soft in the grand scheme of things, the wider eyes, the masses, his audience?
I think we touched on this previously a year and a half ago when the beef was kicking off between Kendrick and Drake. The short answer for me is he's not soft. But where I wrestle with my own feelings, JCole is someone who I've admired for a really long time. You know, since the warm-up days,
Top
Friday
3,
Night
yeah?
Lights,
Top
3, undebatable. So it hurt me as a fan who has been listening to his music over a long period of time, and you know he has a lot of braggadocious bars about being the best, and obviously we can hear that he is one of the best.
You can hear the competitiveness.
You can hear the competitiveness. When you see an opportunity for your favorite artist to go toe to toe with the best, you are excited and very disappointed when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But in real life situations, right? Obviously, you were asking me what would happen if I saw someone insult you on the street and you backed away rather than, you know, insult them back. And you know, where else is this gonna go? In fact, let's take our knives out. Someone's gonna die tonight.
The whole room. Everybody's not leaving this room right now.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's gone. But we look in J. Cole's position. He genuinely sees Kendrick and Drake as a friend. So, you know, having conversations behind closed doors and listening to his friends and hearing, actually, I just wanted a nice little exhibition boxing match with you guys, but it sounds like you two are going for the knockout.
This is too deep.
Yeah,
And you want to basically paralyze someone. Make sure that they have no way of coming back. But is this because we've been taught that Real ones need to step up. Real ones need to be the defender and show that they almost what like this whole idea that being street is cool. That street mentality of being like the macho person and
Even 21 Savage just touched on it recently as well.
oh really? What did he say?
He said the streets are dead, and yeah, it caused a huge uproar in, the hip hop community in Atlanta because a lot of rappers who have come from the streets, arguably, they say that you wouldn't be who you are if the streets wasn't there. But 21 Savage's point of view is that yes, you have to acknowledge where you come from, but that's not a sustainable lifestyle.
Yeah.
You so
grow in life, right?
And also there's a hypocrisy side to it as well. So, some of his fans or haters would say, well, why do you still rap about the streets if you're saying the streets are dead?
You're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Almost like JCole. You're not allowed to talk about being top 3 if you didn't want to defend your title.
But crazy, right? Because it was JCole's birthday.
Happy birthday, Cole.
Happy birthday, JCole. And he released a mixtape called Birthday Blizzard. And one of the tracks in there, he acknowledges what's happening in the internet.
Oh, no way.
What's happening in the ether. He says something along the lines, since my apology, everyone wants to take me out of the top 3, but it's cool. I'm at my best when everyone's doubting me.
He's good, bro. He's good.
He's good. He's good with that
He's
pen.
good.
Yeah,
He's
everyone
good.
knows
You didn't butcher it as well. I'll give you that one. You didn't butcher it.
Yeah. You got to respect the goats out here.
And there's excitement. There's excitement when someone's got their backs against the wall, and there is a bit of doubters. And you know what? I think that line would probably resonate with him deeper than a lot of people would realize, because it's like, actually, I'm fighting now in the trenches. It's almost like he's not necessarily starting again. Everybody knows JCole. They know who he is and they know what he's capable of. But the idea that you have this noise that is like is almost trying to limit him and limit the things that he's done over the past 10 years or so.
I mean, there's
the doubters.
The doubters, and he's always spoken to that, And, in one of his tunes, I think it might have been in Too Deep for the Intro on Friday Night Lights. He has a bar where he says, if they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot it down. And, if you're looking...
Say that again, one more time.
If they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot it down.
Wow.
So he's always been in that lane where he shuts out the noise, he focuses on his goal, and maybe in his mind, in his story, he's always seen himself becoming the best version of himself without having to sacrifice his close friends around him. In the world of rap, beef is put in a very high regard. People want to see, are you battle tested? Are you battle hardened? Who have you bodied? In a rap battle. Or maybe in his mind he thinks, well, every feature I've done, I've already shown that I'm an excellent rapper. So I don't need to win in the same way the world says I need to win. I don't have to defeat my peers that way. I can defeat my peers in my own way. And I think what a lesson for life in this is, you don't have to follow everyone's rules. You can follow your own rules. What's your own view on the world? And how can you impose your will on the world rather than letting the world impose
what they think you should be doing?
Yeah.
And you know what you just said is so powerful, because I mean, we're talking about the music industry, but this applies to so much. Like, it applies to, you have people trying to goad you. And I kind of feel like people might think that it only applies to the people in the public eye, but I think generally, like, you have even expectation from your parents, expectations from all these other people around you, maybe in a work setting, whereby, you know, people think you should be doing this, that, and the other. But actually, you have your own. Yeah, Kai Cenat's a great example. This guy's live streaming, and he probably arguably had one of the craziest years in 2025 than most people that I can think of from a social media point of view. And what does he do? He comes out and says, you know, I want to stop streaming. Can you imagine how many people, 100K people in his room streaming plus? I'm probably undervaluing that he's had to make a decision to say, actually, I want to focus on this. So JCole making that decision to, I'm still of the opinion that it's a righteous thing that he did. If his body and his instincts and everything was telling him that he didn't want to engage in battle.
But he has another buff on Port Antonio. He says, both of my friends went to war and I left them with their blood on me.
Oh my days,
So, yeah.
that Port Antonio as well was so. If you haven't heard it, be like, guys, go and listen to it because there's a lot of science there. But sorry, I cut you off. Yeah, strong bar.
Strong bar. And, you know, it speaks to the fact that he acknowledges that by bowing out of the beef, there's almost a stain on him. Well, look, my friends have gone to war, and now everyone's pointing at me, saying, "Why weren't you fighting as well?"
Yeah.
But there's blood everywhere. We don't want it. But obviously, Kendrick says, "I don't care about the blood. It's just paint to me."
Yeah, the thing is, the double entendres and everything that goes on in beef and in this whole rap battle thing and in general it's entertaining, which is obviously why the audience and the community have one eye towards not giving a damn about people's mental health when it comes to, you know, reasonings behind people not engaging. However, what I will say, there's a flip side to it as well, because at the end of the day, if J. Cole did engage, and we're in a world where he feels awful for engaging for the wrong reasons as well. I'm a firm believer. Obviously, I'm not. I don't want anyone to be engaging in anarchy and chaos, but there is always a right and wrong reason why you're engaging, right? Like, if I can only speak for myself, but like if there's something happening within my family that I don't like. That's one of the biggest. We see it all the time. When someone steps over the line, usually when people cross the line is when something's really personal. And from a beef point of view, if it's not that deep, it just isn't that deep. Which is probably another reason why J. Cole's like, I don't want this to affect my mental health. I don't want this to affect my peace. No matter how much money, no matter how much notoriety, you know, I have a duty of care to myself not to want to engage. I know it sounds boring. I know people will be like, oh my gosh, but
Well, I've got a question for you then on
Hit
that
me.
front in terms of protecting your peace. Is it better to back out, or actually, let me scratch that. Is it more embarrassing to back out of a beef or to crash out because of beef?
ooh,
'Cause
personally or in general?
in general, you know what? Right now it's January. We've been laughing at home, seeing a lot of people sending for each other. Not only in the music sphere, but also in the creator sphere.
Yeah.
Politics. It's all going
Everywhere. Social media, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, there's so many names we can list where it's like, oh my gosh. But I think it depends on the individual. But like, if I'm being real, I've never felt embarrassed just because I've felt called out by someone. That's me personally. However, there's a lot of financial gain, even if for crashing out. there's a lot of gain for crashing out, and this is why I kind of spoke about the wrong reasons and right reasons, because if you crash out and you feel good in yourself because you've crashed out because genuinely this one really cooked your mindset, and you know, you weren't standing for something, it goes against your moral code. I won't really care that the crash out, because crashing out is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. When you crash out, it doesn't look good. Everyone's like, read the room. Everyone's like, come on, when did you grow up? Like, it is embarrassing.
But also showing passion is good as well, no? So I'm just thinking about, I'm going completely left here. Arteta getting vexed because the referee is making the wrong call. He crashes out, he gets a yellow card. I'm happy my manager's fighting for the team.
Yeah, because your moral compass is you're fighting for your morals.
Yeah.
You're fighting for what you just saw.
Yeah. So sometimes crashing out signals that you're very passionate about what you believe in, but it's the way you crash out.
I can't lie, it's so tough because it depends on the scenario. I'm not gonna lie, it does depend on the scenario.
So if we just quickly tie this back to JCole, could it also be that the reason why JCole bowed out the beef is because he didn't have enough reason to crash out?
This is, and that's my reasons why I think it's a great point. If he didn't feel like he needed to crash out, don't crash out. It's as simple as that. And I respect the fact that he was like, you know what? This isn't my battle. This is for Drake and this is for Kendrick. Do your thing. Do your thing. Because the people around that beef, actually, when I think of Rick Ross, and I think of mainly Rick Ross, actually, it felt embarrassing for me when I listened to Rick Ross trying to go for Drake. Maybe it felt embarrassing because of the way Drake cooked him, but it felt, Rick Ross, you didn't need to do that. Whereas on the flip side, everyone's like, JCole, you needed to do it. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So everyone's reasons for doing something, everyone seems to have an opinion. And this is where I'm like, there's a lot of financial gain for crashing out, no matter which side on the fence you are. For the first instance, people will be like, oh, this is either great or this is terrible. If it's terrible, you're still getting the eyes on you. You're still getting this whole notoriety thing on you. There's loads of people that will follow the situation. It just depends on the type of noise that you're getting.
So then I think what I'm hearing from you is that sometimes crash outs are authentic and sometimes they're not.
They're not.
And maybe because of who JCole is and, you know, who he's painted himself to be in front of us, it's like, this doesn't feel authentic to me to body one of my peers right now.
I doubt his delivery would have been off as well, but like, it could potentially have affected his delivery.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting the, JCole strikes me and a lot of people within the top 3, top 5 bracket of music, creativity. Everyone works off their feeling. They work off what they are connected to, their life's experience. So if there is no genuine feeling inside him that will allow him to draw some sort of rage and deliver the coldest diss track, no pun intended, for Drake or Kendrick, whoever he felt like he needed to slay, it would have been empty. It would have potentially even been brand damaging. Let's go David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. Their situation, my bro. Someone in the family's crashed out. Maybe, I don't know if I'm that close to it or not, but I don't hear that many people saying, oh, Brooklyn, stop crashing out. This is embarrassing. Maybe there's a few whispers. What are most people concerned about? What do most people want, my bro?
They want to see the video.
They want to see the video.
Yeah.
They want to see the video. That's all they want. They don't want, no, they want to see more. Tying it back to JCole, it could have been even more bloodier because people would just want to see more and more and more. And guess what? JCole announces his album, and what do they want to do? They want to hear it. They want to hear what he wants to talk about. So maybe he wins overall for not even engaging, because either way, more people want to hear what you want to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. People be tuning in either way, for
Yeah.
sure. And I'll definitely be tuning in. So
100%.
excited for the fall off.
Cheers
We'll
to that.
definitely give our reviews once that's out.
We'll listen to his mixtape, like you said. We'll review it, and we'll go from there. Maybe it might be a complete upset, but I doubt it. J. Cole's too cold. But this kind of ties in quite nicely to a little bit more animosity in the media, because Druski, everybody at home, Druski, if you don't know Druski, search him or pop his face up somewhere. You can see who Druski is going through it as well, which is, again, he's fighting an industry. Can't call it an industry. What do we call it? Organization.
Or a subset, because we don't want to paint the whole community with the same brush, right?
Yeah, because it's not my religion. I'll be honest. It's not. That's not my church.
Yeah, it's not my church either. It's definitely not my church. It's some crazy church that nobody knows.
Very
Nobody
dangerous. Those conversations. I'm not having the same conversations with God at all.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that Druski's obviously found material.
Who's
in
Druski?
one
So just the
sense.
people.
Druski's a comedian, so he's used his ability to be funny, turned a situation. The churches, some churches in America, he's using religion or Christianity to do this very funny skit. I won't even lie, I laughed because some of the stuff that's in there, it looked very real. In a sense that I've seen some clips on social media of certain churches delivering the I can't even call it the Lord's word. Like it's things like I saw one video of a priest saying, "Lock the doors, lock the doors, lock the doors," and nobody's leaving until we get like I think it was like something like 10,000 or 100K. They wouldn't let them leave. They just wouldn't let them leave until they had that mark that they were looking for. Which, for me, that's not. I'd definitely be in that church thinking, what's going on? What's going on there? Why? I didn't come here this Sunday to relinquish.
To make me broke.
No, like that's not, if I'm giving, I'm giving.
Yeah.
But it's my decision. Nobody should be locking the doors.
Yeah.
Nobody should be locking
It's
the
the last
doors.
album coming out.
Yeah, so Druski was doing that skit, which they're not happy about it. And it's interesting to me because it's the people that are in that space, within that, I'm going to call them a cult. They're in that cult.
So I'd ask the question then, what is the role of a comedian? Is the role of the comedian to just tell jokes?
It's a great question.
Or is the role of the comedian to shine a light on issues that are difficult to talk about?
And comment below your thoughts on that, because it's a very good question. And most people, I would think, like when you first asked the question, my head was thinking happiness. A comedian is there to make people laugh, right? Sometimes it's at the detriment of people's feelings being hurt. And I think that always comes down to feeling like that individual's talking about me.
The shoe fits.
Yeah, if the shoe fits, it's gonna feel personal. And the people that are upset about it, like for me, I was able to laugh. There was a question in my head that was like, damn, is he making a mockery out of religion? Is he making a mockery out of God? And is he making a mockery out of my relationship with God? And that wasn't the case, which is why I think my instincts was to laugh, because I know what aspects of his skit is making a mockery out of, and it's the people that maybe aren't doing the right things in terms of the representation of God. because I don't know, I didn't think to myself that, not that he didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't think it was a personal attack on Christianity at all.
No, I don't think it was. I think it's just another great skit where he's shining a light on issues that people are scared to talk about. Everyone already knows that there is a certain community that like to promote that they are doing good things, but actually they're doing bad things. And you can actually pick up examples of this outside of religion as well. People who claim to do beautiful and wondrous things for charities. Say, hey, look at what my right hand is doing, but on the left hand, something bad is happening. So it's all a disguise. It can all be smokes and mirrors to elevate one's status, elevate one's authority, to then make those commands and say, oh, let's lock the doors now, let's get the money in, and we will listen to this person, well, the people in that room, because this is the person that we respect. This is the person who has been advising us. This is the person who I've been confiding in. So why am I going to challenge the fact that, we should be doing these things for the higher purpose, which is whatever they decide the higher purpose is in that moment.
Who's to say that God is not speaking through Druski? But what I don't personally want to do is judge the individuals that are preaching in the way that they are preaching. Maybe it's their style. Maybe it's their style, but my personal relationship with the situation is that, again, it didn't personally affect me, but I certainly understand from a comedy point of view why people feel impacted by comedians that are trying to be funny,
Yeah, I understand it. Dave Chappelle, sometimes he gets into hot waters because of the way he tells jokes around certain communities, and how that's received, depends on how well you know Dave Chappelle and his style of taking jokes, delivering jokes, and how you take jokes. And I think we're always gonna be in this grey subjective area when a comedian delivers a nice skit. Is this the right thing or the wrong thing to do?
Is it Ricky
Gervais does it as
another
well.
one. He's an atheist, I think. He believes in Scientology or something. I don't feel like there's as much as an uproar as there was with Druski's skit, but there has been uproars when he spoke about other topics, which I won't talk about, but...
We don't want to be blacklisted by YouTube right now.
No. Have you ever been touched by a comedian's topic on something that's made you think, hey now, this is not funny, this is personal?
I'd like to think I've got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, like if like from my point of view, if a comedian says something that is personal, I've usually laughed.
Well, we've
related to it.
100%, and we've grown up in an era where certain movies that we like cannot be recreated in this era. The examples like The White Chicks.
Oh my!
Fridays, and a lot of great movies that are funny because of certain slurs and where
even the racial ones as well.
Yeah, there's just so much. So
you remember Jackie Chan's one? I remember Jackie Chan's one to Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, and he said something like, "I'll bitch slap you back to Africa."
Yeah. We might have to censor that as well.
Bro, but like certain comedic, I think, obviously this day and age people are more sensitive, right? People are more sensitive. Like, we can't get away from that. Just have a sense of humor, man.
Yeah. Life is not that serious.
Nah, life is just not that serious. I think the religious one, just to tie off the whole Druski thing, I kind of understand why people felt personal about it, because there is one question out there, and it's a looming question: are you taking the piss out of Christianity, or are you taking the piss out of one specific section in the corner of the room that preaches in a certain way and handles their sermons in a certain way, and you're shining a light on a situation that isn't potentially right? I would like to think it's the latter. You're shining a light on a group of people and a group of individuals who are potentially taking the piss.
It's an interesting one. And another thought maybe we'll leave the audience with is, do we think we would get the same reaction if Druski did this skit on another religion?
Oh, that's a powerful one. I will leave the room. Comment below, and it'd be very interesting to hear your thoughts. I have my thoughts on that. Especially because it's religion, I think we leave God to judge, because we don't have the power to judge these situations. Yes. But you know what? On a more positive note, I want to talk about one of my favorite female actors so far this year. We're only in 2026 January, so it's early days, but Teyana Taylor. I want to just say, Teyana Taylor, you are doing bits. You are absolutely killing it right now, and we see your grind. So keep going, keep going. But sadly, also on the flip side of that, women are getting judged, and she's certainly getting judged for the movie that she did with Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you remember what it was called?
Was it Battle After Another Day?
Battle After Another Day is, I don't know if it's that one.
Let's quickly clear this up. It's called One Battle After Another. We were close.
One battle after another.
Right.
That's the one. One battle after another, and I loved it. And I came out of it thinking, Teyana Taylor did an amazing job hanging with Leonardo DiCaprio. And I personally thought she was a star of it, because Leonardo DiCaprio, he is who he is. Teyana Taylor is, in my mind, I thought she's essentially an artist pivoting into being an actress or actor. And I think she did an amazing job. And then we watched Rip. She probably wasn't as, she wasn't leading as much, or she was more of a, she wasn't on screen as much. I'm sure she was the co-star with Leonardo DiCaprio.
On One Battle.
Yes. But Rip, where you had Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, she wasn't the main protagonist. So I can understand why people would think that she didn't do as much there. But again, when she was on screen, there's just something. Every single time I've seen Teyana Taylor acting in a role, I've felt it. There's just you can feel that this person has done the work in the background, and the way that she's connected with the character, you can feel that she really understands the individual story.
So what do you think critics are upset about?
People feel as though she perhaps may have been sexualized in it. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that. In fact, I'm not naive. Not that I didn't see it, but when I was watching the movie, I didn't look at Teyana Taylor in that way.
That wasn't your focus.
That wasn't my focus. I was appreciating the way in which she embodied that character really well. Angelina Jolie in tourism, I think it's tourism. or even Tomb Raider. I didn't sexualize Angelina Jolie then. She's a beautiful woman, but I didn't look at Angelina Jolie in that way and thought, oh my goodness, she's being sexualized in this role. You appreciated her as an actress. Same thing with all of the beautiful white women in the industry.
Sydney
of
Sweeney
Hollywood.
gets it a bit now, doesn't she? Where
Sydney Sweeney definitely gets sexualized. I don't know what that is.
some people might say she's leaning into it. She understands the lay of the land, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna release my own lingerie, and she did. She's got a lingerie coming out. She understands that people like looking at her in certain ways, and God has gifted her appearance.
Do you know-
where some
do-
people focus on some things more than the other, but it doesn't take anything away from her acting.
No, and
Doesn't
I'm glad that yeah. And let's stress that it doesn't take anything away from her acting. And at the end of the day, my bro, you don't know how hard Sydney Sweeney has worked to have the figure that she's had in terms of being in the gym, eating right, etc., etc. Right? If it was a man, for example's sake, Superman, Michael B. Jordan, what are the Captain America, all these people that have got the figure, all the men that have got the figure, right? They know what they're doing. They know they got abs. They know they have a great chest. They have a great torso. All these men, you could argue, are being sexualized, but this isn't the main thing that makes them who they are in their roles. These are the things that add to it. These are the things that I suppose allows them to play some of the roles, allows them to have that scene where the top is off and you're like, damn, this person's got a rig on them. Just because Sydney Sweeney has whatever people are sexualizing doesn't take away from her acting whatsoever. And I don't know what the conversation is about when people say that Teyana Taylor is being sexualized. What does that mean?
I think what happens, I mean, specifically for women, it does happen to everyone for various different reasons. But for women, when they succeed in certain things, people like to make excuses for why they're winning.
That's sad.
That's sad. And then even more so in Teyana Taylor's position, she's a woman and she's black. So then the scrutiny is going to be so much more than, let's say, the counterpart, someone that's a white male in the same position. Leonardo DiCaprio is not getting the same level of scrutiny that Teyana Taylor's getting in the same movie. Why is that? Well, one, he's
40 or 45.
proven as well.
Oh.
He's done.
I was gonna say he's older.
He's older.
Because
And
back in the day, it would have been Leonardo DiCaprio, blue eyes, all that shit.
yeah, and then it's
Pause.
yes. So then it's just understanding that, naturally when you win, you're always gonna get haters, but specifically for women, you're gonna get way more haters when you're winning, which is why you always have women banding together. They set up communities to support each other, which is all great. These are all very good things, and right now in society we still need that. We still need that level of support because of examples like what we're seeing today with the Sydney Sweeneys of the world, the Teyana Taylors of the world, where people want to make one excuse or another for why they're being successful. Where, it's not just because they've got great assets. They've also got a great skill set.
That's the main thing, isn't it? The skill set. The acting skills should 100% be appreciated. The beauty should be appreciated because let's be real. And I'll just call it how it is. Black women should be appreciated too. I don't understand why, going back to the Angelina Jolie topic and going back, I think there was one of the magazine outlets out there did like the people that are in the Angelina Jolie age bracket and beyond. Jennifer Aniston has the upkeep that she's done, and Angelina Jolie, the upkeep she's done, and
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
all of these people, Kim Kardashian, the upkeep that they've done. So now to have a beautiful black woman really, really
Halle Berry
showing,
was another.
yeah, someone who's actually doing her thing and she's black is amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. So the idea that, okay, she's done a role where there's someone else, there's another character who's besotted by her. What's wrong with that? We should normalize that. We should normalize the idea that Teyana Taylor is probably not the only black actress that's trying to make it and trying to push different heights and different levels and be the next Angelina Jolie, because there should be no differentiation between the two. Just because Angelina Jolie is white and Teyana Taylor is black, it shouldn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't admire one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would go back to the question itself that the critics are posing to everyone else is, you're saying she's winning. Why is she winning? Is she only winning because
she's got a great figure?
She's got a great figure. She's sexualized.
Get out of here, man.
Well, I would say to you then, are you critiquing or are you projecting? Are you asking that question because you're sexualizing and you haven't understood the whole movie itself? And you haven't.
That's it.
Have you understood the movie or are you sexualizing?
Yes.
So you need to reflect on why you're asking that question.
Yes.
It could be that you're not actually seeing all the parts and what she's actually doing there. How about watching the movie again without sexualizing her? And
Take
critique
your
it?
own opinion of the whole sexualizing thing out of the window and appreciate her talent. There's a big difference between what she did in Rip and what she did in
One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another, yes. Two different characters, same woman. But I don't know whether or not I don't feel like I've heard the same noise about her being sexualized in Rip. But again, I believe that she played her role really, really well in Rip as well. She did an amazing job. And I really believe that she is an actress, actor, whatever you want to call her, that has studied the craft. You can see it. You can see it. Beautiful woman. Carry on being beautiful. Carry on doing what you're doing. And long may you be blessed in that space. Where are we going next, Sid?
Where do we go next from here? Well, I think it'd be good for us to talk about what's happening in the creator space. Some very interesting news around partnerships, creators turning into founders. One of the most recent example, Kabi Lame, the guy who's most famous for the and he's got a great story. He, for those of you who don't know him, one of the most famous Black African TikTok creators, famously lost his job and then turned to TikTok, showing people different ways to hack life hacks. And at the end of each video, he would show himself hacking this whatever problem.
And also taking the piss out of other people's ridiculous hacks of life that were just overcomplicated. Yeah, like, guys, this is the simple thing.
This is easy. Come on, stop being silly.
Put your seatbelt on. Don't complicate it.
His format has taken him all the way up to doing a $900 million deal. Congratulations. And a big hats off to him and his journey and persevering. I mean, I even heard he was posting at 1.6 posts a day on TikTok.
Wow.
But the reason why I wanted to to put a spotlight on his journey and then talk about the rest is that what we're seeing right now is a huge trend in the creator space of creators becoming founders. You know, KSI and Paul Logan setting up the Prime.
Paul Logan or Logan?
Logan Paul. Yeah, so Paul Logan, Logan Paul.
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato with KSI's Prime drink, and then you've also got Kai Cenat more recently leaving the streaming world to set up his clothing brand. And then we've got so many great examples of creators becoming businesses. So I wanted to bring that up as a talking point and understand, are we seeing a shift now where the world or businesses are accepting that actually in order to reach customers, in order for us to grow, to reach the masses, we have to work with creators not as just as a vehicle, but treat them more as like partners. You know, they are CEOs, they are founders, and they're not just influencers.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cabby's situation is also opening the door up to a lot of other creators that perhaps have a large community as well. And it's like, actually, my community is valuable because there is such I think, a space, there's a world in which people maybe undervalue that community. So even like the Breakfast Club or Charlemagne having his deal done with Netflix, it goes to show that actually there's so much strength in having a large community, a large audience, and it's valuable. You know, these people that even follow myself on Instagram and all the other social media platforms, there's a duty of care and there's a responsibility that we have to try and make sure that with great powers comes a lot of great responsibility. People like Cabby and people like Kai Cenat, they've done because don't get it twisted, it's a tough job in itself to show up every single day, every other day, however often that they're doing it with such a large audience, to make sure that not necessarily that they are happy, but they are getting the medicine that you're giving them day in, day out.
Deal worth, I even undercooked it. It's $975 million.
Yeah, it's almost $1 billion.
It's almost $1 billion.
The idea that Netflix align themselves with other creators, take Netflix doing WWE and wrestling live on Netflix's platform. It's a collaboration between Netflix having so many different subscribers and also a mass audience within the space that is wrestling. Druski, Kevin Hart, Kai Cenat, those three individuals linked up together on the live stream. What did that do? It showed this should be normal. That's what I love most about it. It shows that this can be done. You open up a world, you open up a door that isn't obviously attainable for everyone. But the main thing is you've shown that it's possible. And everybody wins in that scenario. Not only do the audience enjoy something that's really funny, enjoy something that's really, really uplifting, but the people that is, I don't even know the platform that they were on, but the platform that they're on gets the visibility, they get the eyes. Then you get it wasn't SNL, but the award ceremony that Druski, Kai jumped on whilst Kevin Hart is the main host of this award ceremony, and they do this amazing thing that then eventually goes on Kai Cenat's live channel. Druski gets the opportunity to do his live thing.
They even had the live streaming with, was it the Oscars?
And that's I don't know, was it the Oscars that they were live on?
the Grammys as well. I think they've
Grammys
had
or
a
the
few.
Oscars.
They've
Yeah,
had-
they've done
had a-
so many. They've done so many. But main thing is
BET Awards it was, wasn't it?
BET Awards. BET Awards. But they are opening doors for other people, and they are showing that actually once upon a time, to watch the BET Awards, you'd only be tuned into the TV. Now, the world is shifting a little bit. And the idea that people are leveraging the audience, I think it's a beautiful thing, especially if you're doing it for the right reasons.
And I would agree, and I would add to that and say that businesses are beginning to understand that creators are viewed as more relatable as something that are more relatable than an advert that they create themselves. You know, and I would link this all the way with the creative briefs that sometimes brands give, and you know, sometimes there's not enough creative control that sits with creators, and when a creator is putting out a piece of content to their audience, it doesn't seem authentic if it's not aligned with something that they would actually do. So launch.
Yeah.
This creator or this person is using similar products already or have been using your product for a really long period of time, which shows a natural, authentic connection, which shows that there is trust, so that, you know, when you decide that actually you don't want to drink green tea anymore, you want to drink matcha because matcha, well, a specific type of matcha is making you feel good, and now you tell your audience about it. Your audience trusts what you say, and what you have said, because you have demonstrated to them in the past that you don't tell lies. And essentially, that's what it is. People want to understand that they feel that from your content, I'm your friend. I'm following you because I like you for X and Y, Z reasons. Maybe it is because you give me a good feeling of happiness, a good feeling of energy, and you give me those life hacks, that whatever it is, and that is more relatable than a business that's just trying to shove a product down my throat.
Yeah, they're just trying to make profit. And that, do you know what? I'd go back into what you were saying around the synergy between a brand and a creator or someone that has an audience. When Ronaldo jumped onto an interview, and I think he saw like a Coke bottle, or maybe it was even Lucozade, something, and he's pushed it aside. Now you see a lot of basketballers do the same thing. They'll do the same thing if there's like an energy drink sat on there, and then they'll, you know, they'll push it aside, especially if it's not something that resonates with their
They understand the
habits and their
associations. I didn't choose this
I don't
partnership.
know, this isn't me. And their audience will know that it's not them. So when a brand aligns itself with the likes of Cabby, the likes of Druski, the likes of all these other people, I think, yes, obviously there's a large, you know, we can't deny that Cabby is getting almost 1 billion in the deal. I don't know the ins and outs of what it is, but the association between showing that it's possible, and actually the value that the thing that I want to, or I hope that would be maintained in these things that are happening, and these deals that are happening in the industry, is the authenticity and the genuineness of what's going on. Because let's be real. There's a large portion of people, everybody, you are lying if someone didn't come to you and offered you 1 billion and you didn't take it for the right reason or the wrong reason. 1 billion will change most people's lives, everybody's life. So I think that opportunity presenting itself is amazing, but the undertone of it being that I hope that everyone will still get that real person. You know, I've often heard.
Well, they say that part of the strategy will be using AI to get more volume out of his content.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting thing
Yeah.
to watch as to what does that do to his brand? Does it dilute it? Will people notice a difference?
Will it still be him?
Will it still feel like we're
Yeah.
getting the Kabi Lame feeling? We're right now, we're very in an early stage of what this all is. How does AI fit into all of it? How does these deal structures look like? And what is the impact of Charlemagne now, working closely with iHeartRadio and Netflix, and now perhaps maybe we're switching on Netflix to see The Breakfast Club.
There's more accessibility.
How does that user experience feel?
Yeah.
And also on, I guess on a larger scale, how will it feel to all of us seeing that the Netflix is almost creating a monopoly?
Yeah.
We're not going to the movies as much anymore. When we like to listen to podcasts or when we like to listen to radio stations, there's channels for that. There's radio stations, there's YouTube, there's this. But now everything's going to be in Netflix. Your movies, your favorite series, your favorite person to dial in and out of, whether it's their conversation or whether it's... So it's going to be an interesting one. And obviously Netflix having this new deal that hasn't been completely done yet with the Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
What does that mean for the churn of movies? All of our favorite blockbusters that we've had. Does it mean that maybe Netflix movies will be in the cinema? Or does it mean that we're going to just get more of the same, which is also quite good?
Yeah. I like the accessibility side of it though. I like the fact that it brings it all into one house, and these people are people that I really enjoy. I really enjoy watching their content. Druski, I enjoy watching his content. Kabi, I enjoyed watching his content when he was first coming out. It was hilarious. I found it so funny. There's certain people that were doing things that they didn't need to do it, and he would just shine a light on the fact that actually if it's not broke. He was and is the person that's like showing that if it's not broke, let's not fix it. That's basically his content. Long may his success continue, and I think we should wrap up on that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let us know what your thoughts are on these collaborations with brand and individuals. These individuals are brands as well, right?
Yeah, they are brands, they're businesses now.
They are businesses. They are making the impossible look possible, which is amazing. Amazing. It's beyond describable. Guys, enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and join us again next week. Thank you. Steady talk show. Feeling wavy, better save this for the caption. Steady talk show.